Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen Vassell, and I am the chair of the Greater Kendall Business Association, the friendliest place to do business. And I am here today for our business spotlight show. And I have the great pleasure of having today as my guest the myth, the man, the legend himself, Mr. Mr. Michael
Karen,
Miller.
thanks for inviting me on your show. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for allowing us to do this show here with community newspapers. It's always a pleasure to walk through the doors and to see you guys and to see Tommy as well.
And it's lovely talking to somebody who doesn't have an accent.
Oh yeah, no accent. Yeah. I think you're making fun of my Jamaican accent, aren't you? So you notice when I speak, right? The accent comes and it goes,
Yes.
right? And I have no control over it. So it depends
So
on what
it's
I'm
perfect.
saying. But in traffic, in road rage instances, it's always straight Jamaican.
And I know there's been a lot more road rage going around as we're exiting the pandemic onto normal stuff, that the traffic is there to move us forward, so to speak.
It is back. So how are you today, Mr. Miller?
We're good. We're good. Having a good time.
So I think everybody in Miami knows who Michael Miller is. But for those who don't, Michael Miller is the other half, I think the better half of the Miller brothers.
I'm just the calmer half.
The calmer
But he's
half.
certainly much more known than I am.
You know what though? He is. I just met you. I would see you at meetings or at the hospital when I was at South Miami Hospital, and I had no idea that who you were. But now that I know who you are, I want everyone to know who you are.
I frequently go into to the mirror that's in the bathroom, and I look into the mirror and I ask the same question: who are you?
Who am I? So I want you to tell everyone who you are, Mr. Miller.
Ooh.
Tell everyone about your association with community newspapers. What are you with community newspapers?
Well, years and years and years ago, Gran and I grew up in the media family. My father was on radio when he was 20 years old.
Mhm.
He was on, then he was on TV in the 50s, 60s. And I remember when Hurricane Donna, we were all kids then. He was on Channel 7 and covering the news, and he was an anchor. And then he was in the radio business. Had a show, he worked for WMI and WEDR. He had a show called The Gospel Hour, I'm sorry. So Gran and I grew up with rose-colored glasses. It's just the way that it was, all right? And so in the early 60s, my father bought a newspaper. It's called the South Dade Shopping News, and its roots were very close to here.
Oh wow.
The office of the South Dade Shopping News in the 1960 was across from Big Cheese over there. And I remember going
wow.
over, and there was some little office. So my father left the radio business because the station was sold. And he said he was going to go in the newspaper business. And so it started a few years later. I was gainfully employed delivering newspapers. As soon as school was out, I'd be racing down the street delivering newspapers. And Gran and I have learned the community spirit and understanding that people deserve their 15 minutes. And if we can give them their 15 minutes of fame, it's our pleasure to do that. And for some people, it's rare that they get an opportunity to be promoted in a product that is not their own, meaning not on their website, not on their Facebook, but for somebody else to recognize that.
Mhm.
And one of the great things that we started was Positive People in Pinecrest, where we honored the local kids. And we recognize that these stories that we do, and let's see, 8 a month, Grant's going to kill me. It's either 6 or 8 a month for 25 years.
Okay.
A lot of those kids use that in their college applications.
Yes.
What a thrill that is to be able to do that and to be able to provide that service. And Grant and I get it. We're on our own Rotary Club here and helping other people. And we do it without any expectation of getting anything in return other than the opportunity to do it.
All right.
So we've just learned that. And I don't know how, but we have.
So we're going to talk more about the paper, but I want to hear more about you. So South Dade, that the paper that your father started, it was where Big Cheese is in that location. Did you grow up in the South Miami area?
Went to Palmetto High School.
Yeah.
And then after this office here, Ron, my father, moved his office to 900 Perrine Avenue. Was there for 4 or 5 years. And at that point, he started developing the concept of local newspapers. And in the
Mhm.
early 60s, it was just major dailies. And one of the caricatures that my father created was a caricature of the Miami Herald,
Mhm.
and then all the newspapers around and called it Ring Around the Herald. And he really liked to aggravate people. That's where Grant learned how to do
Yeah,
that.
I think
All right.
Grant's like
Is
his
he
dad.
looking over
He's
there?
not looking. He's
All right.
not looking. I'm hoping he's listening though.
Yeah.
Grant is just like his dad. Okay.
So we we learned to how to communicate with people
Okay.
on all different sorts of levels. And as far as me personally, my mother was a registered nurse and a teacher,
Hmm.
and I didn't know what to do when I was 19. So I said, okay, I'll be one of the 3% and go to nursing school. I went to nursing school at Jackson Memorial Hospital
Wow.
in the early 70s. And then I went to, and I practiced for a short period of time. And then I went to FIU, got my degree in health management. And then I said, this is not for me. I said, okay, where else did I want to go? And I went through the whole medical system.
Wow.
And I said, where would you want to be? I said, well, if I could get into medical school tomorrow, would you do the work that's necessary? I said, no. So I knew that wasn't it. I thought about anesthesia. I said, I'd kill somebody. So I said, okay, maybe we'll open a home healthcare agency. That was close. That was close to doing. And then I said, all right, I'm going to go and work in an allied field in the newspaper.
Hmm.
And at that point, I think Grant was here as well. And then I started importing exotic animals.
Exotic. Stop there. Stop. I'm
Yes,
gonna stop you.
go ahead.
So we had Michael Miller RN.
Yes,
We almost had Dr. Michael Miller, but then we had
I ran the other
Michael
director.
Miller Tiger King.
Actually, we know a lot of those players. All right.
Okay.
And so Grant spent some time in Guyana, South America, collecting animals, all right, mostly birds at that point. But we would bring in exotic animals, monkeys, um, iguanas, scorpions, lots of different types of birds, snakes from Africa. And we did a lot of that for a long time.
Wow.
And then it was like, if we keep doing it, we'll wind up in jail. We just knew that because the exporters didn't care whether they're exporting animals or drugs,
Right.
and it was too close to it. We said, okay, that's it, we're done.
Okay.
And then my father, in 1982,
Uh-huh.
decided he was going to retire, and so Grant and I closed down the animal business. All right, and we used to have a little chimpanzee about this big Tico for a while. All right, and then we said, okay, we're going to come over here, and so it's been 40 years, Grant. Imagine that. All right.
40. Wow.
And it's been a real ride. And to be involved in the formation of many of the cities, including Doral, Sunny Isles, Aventura, Pinecrest, Palmetto Bay, Cutler Bay. We tried the Falls, couldn't get it done. We tried West Kendall, we couldn't get it done. But to be involved in that,
Hmm.
so that people could vote on the things they wanted, and us to be able to be a central core of distribution of open conversations was tremendous and a great life experience for us.
And you guys truly have made a huge impact. I mean, everywhere I went when I was in South Miami and now that I'm out in West Kendall, I see you, I see Grant. So you guys are pretty much everywhere.
We have a great team, and
Hmm.
sometimes you get lucky and you have a vision. 25 something years ago, I said, I think we have to start getting subscribers to a newsletter, which we didn't have,
What did you start with though?
with papers. All right.
How many did you have when you guys took over?
There were probably 7 or 8, and now we have 11. And
Hmm.
it's more defined, more local. For instance, Father had what's called the Southwest News. All right. And
Mm.
so that's got renamed to Kendall. And there was no Palmetto Bay, Pinecrest, or Cutler Bay in that area. Was We called that Kendall. And then South Dade was really Cutler Bay and South. We used to do
Hmm.
work in Homestead for a long time. We just couldn't make that work there.
You spoke about the Pinecrest people, and you spoke about the piece that you have of notable people in Pinecrest, and the children using that for their college applications. I don't know if you remember, but you actually gave my daughter an opportunity to do an internship with you.
I remember.
So she wrote a few articles for
Yes, she
you.
did.
Yeah, and you guys pushed her, and she wrote one that was kind of like controversial, right?
Did you think that she thought it was controversial?
She sure didn't.
But
I
you
don't.
did, her mom.
I thought it was, and the feedback that was coming in, it was. But thank you for that opportunity, and I know that you do that for a lot of the young people in the community, and she did in fact use that on some of her applications and some of the things that she
Well, there
did.
you go. It was a
So,
piece that she wrote. It wasn't us writing about her. She wrote a piece,
mhm,
and I think it had to do with the color of somebody's skin, if I remember
it
right.
was,
Oh, yeah,
it
oh yes,
was,
she was years ahead of time.
she was, and then look what we're doing now.
Right. And I think that's important to know that all of us at some point get an opportunity to lead the way and to take that chance, right?
Hmm.
That it's going to be controversial. When you think of all the things that we're doing now, well, imagine 50 years ago, somebody's, let's go to the moon. No, 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 no. How about let's get a car, a Tesla, and put it up into space and put an astronaut just in a uniform to circle around in orbit? Who would ever thought, right?
No.
Every once in a while, you get an idea and you're able to go with it. We've had lots of good ideas that worked.
And the fact that you support that innovative type of thinking, the fact that you allow these young people to have a platform where they can voice their opinions, and share their opinions with the world is just an amazing thing. I want to know, at what point did you transition to the online platform that you have? Because you guys have quite a huge following online.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So 15 years ago, maybe 20, we had a think tank in the back office. I remember the day that it came up, and I said, listen, folks, I think we need to start doing digital electronic newsletters.
Okay.
What's that, Michael? This is what it is. It's like an email with a whole bunch of different stuff on it. I said, we need to go get subscribers. And people said, no, we don't know how to do that. I said, so somebody said to me, I got a challenge for you, Michael. I said, what's that? 25, could they get 25,000? At that point, we had 9,000.
Mm.
That was in the September. I remember it like it was yesterday. I said, okay, by next December, so I got a 4 month head start, September, October, 4 month head start, we're going to be there. And I spent a year doing everything I could. Well, now we have over 800,000 subscribers.
Hmm.
To we have 10 or 11 newsletters. Our countywide one, which is 400,000. So in that newsletter, we take
Wow.
a story or two from each of our areas, and then we have advertising on that. That goes to people that more have a countywide interest. There's some people that just want Pinecrest or South Miami or Coral Gables, and then we send that to them. So we knew then, and the response that we got,
Hmm.
this is a neat way to be able to communicate with people effectively and instantaneously. That was the part that really thrilled Grant and me and our readers, because we know a lot of people have attention deficit. At least one of the four people here that are here, maybe two, based on the laugh.
Yeah.
All right. And so we said, okay, that works. We said, okay, what's the next thing?
Uh-huh.
And we got really actively involved with our website. And then about 2017 ish, somebody says, can I use your back office to do some Facebook stuff? And it happened to be Robert Asensio. And I said, sure. And I came across a picture the other day. That's
Hmm.
why I happen to remember it. And he brought over a whole bunch of people, lots of young people with the camera and the lights. And I said, let me see this. So you're filming this, and we're sending it right now to a whole bunch of people. Yes. So we played around with it for a while,
Uh-huh.
and then we started saying, okay, well, let's at some of our events, let's start videotaping. Let's see. And it was such a pain, and we said, uh, too much money, too much time. Let's not do that.
Really?
And so, about a year and a half after that, so now we're in 2019.
Uh-huh.
I said, I think we need to start doing more of that. And so, in the fall before the pandemic, a little confused the year, that would have been 2019,
2019,
right?
right?
When's the pandemic was in
2020,
2020. Okay. So in the fall, we started doing a little bit more.
right?
And then in March of 2020, that was a couple days before the county got shut down.
Hmm.
We did our last luncheons. We do luncheons and breakfasts in a Capri and at Casa Cuba. And we invite notable speakers, including some executives that have been at the hospital. And Jim DeFede was our last speaker. And we said, okay, how are we going to stay connected to these people? What are we going to do?
Hmm.
How do we do what we need to do and show people that there's hope and that we can communicate with them? What are we going to do? I said, this is what we're going to do. So we had a little phone, true story, on a stand in this corner right behind me. And I would call people, why don't you come over? We're going to do Facebook Live. The response was so tremendous. And we said, there's something here. People want this. We weren't trying to invent anything, right?
Mhm.
They wanted it. And then within a very short period of time, all of a sudden we built this studio that was here. And in the last uh, year and a half, we've done a couple thousand videos
Wow.
and distributed them.
Wow.
And it's grown into the Grant goes out now and he does commercials. You've seen some of
I
his
have
stuff.
seen them. I have
How
seen
does he start
them.
that off?
So
Come on,
it's
let's see if
really
you do it.
loud.
What does he say?
I don't remember. I can't tell
Yes,
you what he said. I have ADD. I don't remember what he
No, I
says.
wouldn't have known that.
No. Wow. Really?
Yep.
I don't remember what he says, but it's really catchy, whatever he says, and it gets your attention.
So, and that's the part about branding, and that's the brilliance of Grant Miller, all kidding aside,
Yeah.
that he knows how to brand things. And he starts off,
does.
Grant Miller here.
Yeah.
All right.
So I have to tell you that I saw the ad that the one that he just did for the go-karts. I had no idea that they had go-karts in Durrell. And I saw the one for the pet spa. What is it? The pet spa in, is it Coral
Was a
Gables?
scent hound or something.
Scent Hound. Yeah. I'm gonna take my dog there. I had no idea.
Hey, Grant, did you hear that? It worked.
It does work. It does work, Grant, and I will be there with my puppy at some point.
So think about how that affects people when you
Mhm.
look at the concept of touching and feeling and getting emotionally involved. And we know that when people get emotionally involved, they're more apt to open up and to let that inside. So 50 years ago, there's a guy on 36th Street, right down the street from my father's radio station. This is Jack O'Brien, Municipal Auto Sales. Come on down and we're going to sell you a car, right? He'd go and pound the car.
Mhm.
So I don't know if Grant ever saw that, but that's what he's able to do. And people like that and they pay attention.
Mhm.
They may not remember his name. They may not remember the specifics of it, but from a genre point, he's been able to do that,
Mhm.
right? And we did a campaign a few years ago.
Okay.
It was Where's Joe? Do you remember that campaign?
No, I don't remember that one.
So Where's Joe was Joe Corolla. And so got city commissioner. And Grant would go around, sometimes with a dog, with a thing, Where's Joe? And he'd be, Where's Joe? Where's Joe? Donde está Jose? Where's Joe? Right? Campaign for a couple of years, right? And it was the branding. Oh, there he is, Grant. Okay, come on over. Right? So, and it was the branding that works. And I think that's what's important for businesses to have
Right.
something that people are going to remember, whether it was McDonald's and the big red nose and you go and you play or whatever it happens to be. And Grant, I was saying about Where's Joe? All right. Okay, Grant.
Yeah.
She has attention deficit. She thinks, and now we have
Lord.
at least 3 people out of 5 in here have attention deficit.
You're looking pretty good
Listen,
there, girl.
I know,
Right.
I always do. Listen,
Grant,
I
this is
saw
for
your
you.
video.
What?
I saw the video.
Which one?
The one with the puppies.
Well, yeah, the puppy.
What is
Scent
it called? Scent Hound.
Yeah.
Scent Hound. So because I saw that, I intend to bring my dog there to be groomed.
Wow,
So
that's good.
thank you
What
for
was
that.
the other one that you saw?
I saw the one with the go-karts in Durrell.
Did you go there?
I'm going to go because I saw it. So please keep it up.
Are you going to take your daughter and her friends?
Yeah, she can go with her friends. She won't go with me.
Why?
You know, it's kind of lame.
I will go with
It's
you.
kind of lame
Don't
to
worry
hang
about
out
your-
with your mom. You don't want to
You
hang out
go
with your
with
mom.
You go with your. What about your husband?
He'll go. I'll take him.
What's his name?
His name is Andrew. Andrew Vassell. Hi, Andrew.
Andrew, you're the best. Yes. As George Gonzalez says. See what George Gonzalez says at the end?
Not the Palmetto Bay.
No,
buddy.
next one, all the way down.
Grant Miller here.
Yeah.
Yes, Grant Miller is here.
Grant Miller's here. Hold
And
on.
with his phone.
Let me call you right back.
Wow.
Okay, so you're more important. All right, so what did we talk about? Okay, West Kendall Business Association.
The Greater Kendall
Greater.
Business Association.
When's your next meeting?
Our
in
next
person?
meeting in person, our first in-person meeting, it is on the 4th Thursday of July, and it will be at the the Grand Salon.
Back there. Wow.
We're moving back.
That's great.
We're going back to our home.
Yes. All right, so
You know, I'm here to interview you as a trustee of the GKBA. So I'm not being interviewed today. I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
So I already spoke to your brother,
Yeah.
and he
wait,
told
wait,
me.
what are you talking Jamaican for?
I explained it already. It just switches back and forth. You can't do that to me.
What's that Jamaican? You know, all of a sudden you become
It
more Jamaican.
switches back and forth.
Did you visit Jamaica this a couple weeks
Yes,
ago?
I did. I went to Jamaica for my 50. I turned 50. Grant, I turned 50.
You look fine, like a puppy, boy. So, you know, it's interesting, Jamaican people.
Yeah,
You know,
taking
they
over.
speak perfect English, but when they get around another Jamaican, That twang comes right out.
It's you
Why?
know, because you're a Jamaican, right? You always speak Jamaican to me, so it comes out.
Yes,
right?
Yardi.
Yes, Yachty. You my Yachty friend. You
Yeah.
my Jamaican friend.
Okay, so let's talk about you're going to interview me. I'm going to
I
be.
want you to tell me about your background. People want to know about Grant Miller. You promote everybody. You talk about everybody. Tell me about you,
Our
Grant.
biggest highlight at community newspapers was about 3 years ago. This young lady at University of North Carolina
Oh God.
came in for an interview for an internship, and now she's in, where is she?
She's at UM.
With
She's
her
at grad school.
what program?
She's in the psychology program.
Her daughter came to work here as an intern for the summer. Wrote some columns, learned a lot of stuff. Met David Beckham, correct?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
I was jealous that
Yeah,
day.
and
You
she
didn't invite me.
How many years did she play college soccer?
She got hurt. Remember, she got
Yeah.
hurt. So she still stayed there, but she got hurt in her first year.
Bad
Yeah.
knee injury.
Yeah.
But so, all right, let's talk. No, you're interviewing me, but I want to know more about the Kendall, Greater Kendall. How long has it been around? Who founded it?
Wow. So the Greater Kendall Business Association, it was founded by Mr. George Pena.
Right.
And it's my understanding that it's been around for a little bit over 16 years. Did
Right.
you know that?
Yes. It kind of started. There was an organization at Tamiami Airport, and they merged it. But it's very exciting. They're back up and running, and the members are all excited. Who's your speaker that day?
I don't want to say yet because I'm still waiting for his folks to confirm, but it is a big named speaker. And those of you who have interest in the Miami-Dade County schools, you will want to tune in for that one, or you'll want to attend for that
This
one.
is in person. Are you going to?
It's in person.
Not Zoom. In
It's
person.
not Zoom. We're thinking about doing a hybrid model for those people who are not comfortable coming out yet.
Everybody's out. You know, you're in the.
Not everybody's out. Some people want to be at home. Some people want to watch from their offices. You know, not everybody's comfortable yet, and you have to respect that. Not everybody wants to be unmasked out in public. Not everybody wants to be in a big room having lunch with everyone else unmasked, and you got to respect that. So.
I agree. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So, talk. What else? Okay.
Listen.
I agree.
No, you know what? You know what's exciting?
What?
We're doing a networker called Rum and Vodka Business to Business
When?
Networker. That one's going to take place on the 13th of July. It's going to be at Walk-Ons in West Kendall. And when you register, you pay $25 to attend. You get a cocktail, you get appetizers, and you walk away with either a bottle of vodka or a bottle of Appleton. You choose.
For
which one you want.
$25, you get appetizers, a drink, neither one. And where's this
A
restaurant?
bottle. It's in West Kendall. It's
What's
on
West
Kendall Drive. According to your brother, West Kendall is East Everglades, but it's not. It's on Kendall Drive and 162nd
Oh,
Avenue.
that's right. That's right next to you guys.
Right around the corner.
Right
Right,
next-
across the street from the
Oh, is
hospital.
it?
So it's great. So it's a new restaurant.
Are you
that we
guys
just opened.
expanding out there? You building offices, or what are you doing?
Grant,
What?
we're not here to talk about the hospital. I'm here to represent the Greater Kendall Business Association. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I would like to speak about.
Okay,
today.
good. All right.
So
And
Grant,
talk to me.
you talk to me. How are things?
Everything. Look at you. You're in a good mood today.
I am, because it's Friday. Who's not in a good mood on Friday? It's Friday. I'm in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood. I'm always smiling.
There's a song. It's Friday. What about it? You know that song? It's Friday. Tommy, you ever heard of it? The guy dancing? No, I guess not. Okay, so community newspaper has been belong to the Greater Kendall when it was Kendall, and then
Mhm.
it became Greater Kendall. We've been part of it since the beginning.
Right.
Not the very beginning, but the beginning. George took over, and it's a great organization. You need to be involved. But people, here's the biggest complaint about business organization.
Tell me.
I didn't get anything out of it. So
Mhm.
first question I asked the person, how many meetings did you go to? 2 in a year. I said, did you get on any committees? No. And I said, who'd you go with? My associate. I said, where do your associate sit? Next to me. I
Mhm.
go, so you eliminated half your chance to meet new people, and you only went to 2 out of 12 meetings.
Right.
I said, you should pay that business organization more money for you not thinking out of the box. Every organization is important to their community. Greater Kendall is very important to that community. And if you don't get involved, how many committees? You have a bunch of committees, right?
We have several committees. Several ways to get involved in the community. I'm sure you will find something of your liking. All you have to do is attend a meeting and inquire.
Right. Just go, get involved, learn how. This is a lot of people think they're social. Until you go to these things, you have to learn how to do it.
Right.
You know, I love women who you got a business card and they reach it into her purse. When you go to these business events, you
It's
should
in
have
your
business card.
hand.
You should have it in your hand. You should have it in a pocket. Gentlemen should have it in there available. You always wear the name tag on what side? Your right side. You know why? Because you shake with your right hand and then it goes visible. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I just always figured I wear my badges and
Right,
everything
but
on my right side.
But some people put it on the left side because it's tight. So you have to be involved. You have to learn how to introduce yourselves to people, and that's not easy.
Why don't you do like a networking one-on-one session online for those people who are not so comfortable with it?
Well, if you're not comfortable, you belong to the Kendall Business Association, Greater Kendall Business Association.
Thank you.
You call me at 305-323-8206. We'll do a one-on-one before we go to one of your meetings.
Look at that. Can we put that number up in the chat, please?
Yeah.
Grant said you can call him at
You
what
just
number?
just put it in the line, Tommy. Just type it in.
Got another one on there, but
No, under just I'll put it up later.
All right.
305-323-8206. But people have to learn. And it's difficult. Just because you run a business doesn't mean you know how to communicate.
You know what? I think one of the best things about the GKBA, one of the best things that they do is
Other
that
than you.
well, yeah, is the tabletop networker, right?
Right.
So we get 10 minutes and we sit there and everyone around the table gets a minute or so to do their elevator pitch about their business, right?
I think the 10 minutes, and when you do that, then first one, you have to tell each person they have to say something interesting about themselves. Like 2 meetings, whenever it was a year ago, I was ahead of the table and I said, tell me something interesting about you. And some woman says, I'm a set of triplets. The other one said, gave us a little back history, not just about the business, but something unique about you.
So tell me something interesting about you, Grant.
Huh. Interesting. 5'6", 200 pounds. That's interesting.
You 5'6". I said, tell me something interesting, not something that's a lie.
Oh, I'm not 5'6", or I'm not 200
No,
pounds.
just kidding.
I promise you I'm 5'6". All right, 205, but who's counting? All right, there's my phone number if you need a question. That's a good question. Born and raised in Miami.
All right. Rare. You're
Yeah.
a rare jewel.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I was born in Carroll City. But come on, baby.
Really?
You know where Norland High School
That's
is?
why you got so much soul.
You know where Norland High School is?
Really?
You know where Norland
Yes,
High
I do.
2 houses from Norland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay.
You didn't know that, huh?
No, I did not.
See?
You learn new things every
Yeah,
day,
so
right?
when people go, Miami Gardens is my community, I go, no, that's our community. I was born there. You didn't know that,
Okay.
huh?
I had no idea. So you learn new things every day.
How about this? Our father worked for WEDR.
I knew that because Michael just told me that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, Michael just
And
told
Herb
me that
Levine,
one.
who worked there at the time,
Mhm.
ended up owning 30 state radio stations. Herb Levine.
Wow.
So, and it used to be at the headquarters. The office was right across from Jackson High School.
Mhm.
You know, back then Jackson was just Jackson. It was not like it is now.
All right.
But give me some other unique things you want to know.
You know what? I think you came in towards the end of the interview and we're about to run out
Oh,
of
we're about to
time.
Wrap it up.
We're about
Tommy,
to wrap it up.
It's
So
about
you
to.
need a whole 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes for yourself.
Okay, so
All right.
people, when you speak to her, if she just came back from Jamaica, she's going to have that twang. In a couple weeks, her twang will be all gone.
It comes and goes. I already explained. It comes and goes.
I have to tell this person that you're
All
more
right.
important.
So while he's telling this person that he's busy and he's tied up, I am going to thank those of you who joined us today. Thank you for tuning in to our GKBA Spotlight Business Spotlight program. And I hope that you will join us for one of our in-person networkers or for one of our in-person luncheons. You can find us on social media, on Facebook, Greater Kendall Business Association, or you can visit our website, greaterkendall.com. Take care.
Everybody have a great day.